Hello friends, it's time for another Cooking with Carl. Today's going to be pretty quick and is in honor of my dear friend Elizabeth, who is going to be leaving the office that I work at. We're going to make some red velvet cake, and yes, I am going to cheat and use a box mix because you know what? There's no shame, okay? I get it, cooking show, gotta do it from scratch. Sometimes you can do things from scratch, sure. But you know what? These people at Betty Crocker, they put some like food scientists and stuff on this. They know what's up. They know what's in here. And I have to do just enough to make me feel like I'm actually doing something. So, now if you just got done watching my last video when I made brownies, I know I said the first step is to get all your ingredients. But in an instance such as this, where you're not making it from scratch and you really have 4 ingredients, that would be the box of cake mix, eggs, water, and vegetable oil, you can skip that step. There's no point in getting out your 4 ingredients so you feel, special or something. I don't know. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, hi. But I'm skipping that step. So do keep in mind, though, this is not magic, okay? If you're going to use a mixer to mix up your batter, take it a little slow because there is flour in this, and flour likes to fly around your kitchen. So be careful. Now, since the batter has now been mixed up, I've whisked it for a few minutes in my mixer because I'm fancy. It is red, and it is pretty smooth, as you should be able to see. Yes, very nice. Also, if you have a red spatula, use that. This is red velvet cake after all. So do keep that in mind, that it is time to break out your red utensils if you have them. Now it is poured into our greased pan, and you have what looks to be a vat of, well, I suppose it depends on what you want to think about. Strawberry jam, but I'm thinking that stuff they use as cherry hard shell at Dairy Queen to make dipped cones. So we're going to put that in the oven for a great while before we go on to making the star of this cake. Now, when I say star of this cake, as you can see by this accurate picture of what we're supposed to end up with, it has white icing, which is an odd thing since this is supposed to be a chocolate-flavored cake. Now, here's the deal. What's that going to be? Cream cheese frosting. Okay? Bear with me. I am making that one from scratch. Okay, there's no box for cream cheese frosting as far as I know. So that is what I consider to be the real star of this. Some people are in it for the cake, but if there's frosting, better get yourself a corner piece. I'm looking at you, my uncles, who like to do that. The next thing we have to do before we get a cream cheese frosting is make sure our bowl is clean, since we only have one. So wash it in the sink and make it look like pink lemonade from all the red food dye that's in your red velvet cake. The red velvet cake is done and is sitting safely in the freezer. Alright friends, it is now a different day, as evidenced by the fact that I'm wearing a different shirt. Also, now it's time to make some cream cheese frosting, which my dad has lovingly put on this index card, handwritten. Look at how nice handwriting my dad has. Now, of course, we're starting over. What's the first step? Get your ingredients out. Again, this is now 1, 2, 3, 4 items, so kind of optional, but again, just whatever you feel is right. Now, this one's pretty easy, because this involves not 1 whole package of something, but 2 whole packages of something. That means 1 whole package, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and 1 whole bag of powdered sugar. That's right, a whole bag. Again, this is making a cake. This is not a diet food, unless your diet is one that includes cake. I would say avoid this recipe. It is not good for you, but you may become happy when you eat it. Now, all the wet ingredients have been combined in here. So that's cream cheese, vanilla, and milk have been combined in here. And again, if you think back to the princess cake video, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's somewhere. maybe there'll be like a link over here or something. But anyway, does it look good? No. Is it gonna taste good? Oh, heck yeah. Now, when you're adding the powdered sugar, remember, powdered sugar is just like flour. It is, of course, powdered. That's the first word on it. You can't see it on here because they're trying to trick you. But believe me, this word here, it may be spelled like this, but it really says powdered. Now, as you can see, I have the beater attachment on here, which is good for when you need to cream two things together. And as the recipe says, add 1 cup at a time. Since I'm using a whole bag, I figure, you know what? Why the heck not? Just kind of just sprinkle some in there, and then you mix it back in. I'm not going to turn it on while the video is on to help your ears. Now, it's been incorporated. Now, see, I haven't used the whole bag here because what I did is I turned the bag around and found out that using simple math, 1/4 cup times 30 is not 4, as the recipe calls for. So I kind of guesstimated that that is the amount that would be left after that. And doesn't that look nice? See, it kind of sticks together. It doesn't just flow off. And you know what you do is you test it. You take one of these extra long spoons that's really only used to serve drinks, but you have a lot of them, and then you scoop yourself. Just a dab will do you, you know. And would you look at that? That's good consistency right there. Oh yeah, that's ready. Now, you take the cake out of the freezer that we have carefully wrapped in aluminum foil so as not to taint the flavor with the freezer air. And would you look at that bad boy, huh? Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So now we're going to take this and put it on that. Now, potentially the hardest part here is to shake off the excess cream cheese from the mixer here and preserve this for later. This is potentially more important than what's actually going to go on the cake, because this is the part that I'm going to lick later, because this is the special part. This is why you bake. It's the little things, you know? Now, I've taken my pastry knife here and I have carefully spread out the frosting to make sure I covered all of it so you can't see the cake anymore, and you especially want to get into them corners. And you can even check on the side here and look at the layer of frosting to cake ratio. It's pretty decent. So here's our finished product, and always, you know, don't forget to lick your spoon, lick your knife. This is your reward that you have earned at the end of this. And don't let this go to waste either. You know, the little bit that you didn't scrape out of there, because, you know, you could have tried harder to get all that out of there. But let's be real. You know, do you really want to work really hard to put what's a little bit left of here on here that already definitely has enough? Or are you just going to eat the rest with a spoon? Let's be honest here. You know, between you and me, I'm going to eat this with a spoon. So you enjoy yourself. Again, shout outs to Liz. And to my coworkers, if you're watching this, I will see you with this tomorrow. To everybody else, sorry you cannot have this delicious cake. But I hope that this inspired you to make something of your own. Bye-bye.